Hello everybody, DarkPhoenix Ninja 92 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Tyranny, post-commentary edition. Last time we left off, we had I had just died a bunch, fighting these 5 Vendrien guard people up here, and now I am about to give it another try battling them in the way that I think is actually going to work. By baiting them into coming into the room I'm keeping my party in, so that I can face them in reduced numbers. I'm hoping to get only about 2 or 3 of them in at a time, but who knows how that's actually going to work out. I'm hopeful but cautious, as I like to say. So, let's do this, I suppose. Now, come on. Get your asses in here. Well, I appear to have managed to provoke a small enough number of them for my goal, so Lantry, you can get over to my current position, please, if you don't mind. Yeah, that'll be real nice. So, let's do this, and Barik striking iron on one of them, I guess. And Tiberius can cleave. Once I get the angle right, of course. Because that's the thing with this cleave ability. It's a pain in the ass to have the correct angle lined up for my attacks. And let me just say how much of a pain it is to have to be doing post-commentary for this half-an-hour bit. Because it is extremely annoying. Okay, Barik, you do your attack. Tiberius, flurry his ass. Lantry, your flurry of quills will come in handy. And let's hope nobody dies, because that would be a pain. Fortunately, that archer is out of range of us and hasn't gotten any aggro yet. It makes my life a little bit easier. Lantry, heal the Fatebinder, please. We don't want Tiberius dropping dead because I misclicked or something. That would be embarrassing. But attack that Sun Soldier, please. And dear God, that rapid stab attack is such a pain in the ass. Do I decide to drink a health potion or not? I don't remember. I guess not. I just stabbed him, apparently. I got Lantry going Titan's Touch to increase my abilities a bit and buff me up. Well, we do another attack and renewal. Another buff to restoring weapons and such, to basically make us more awesome. And Tiberius needs some more healing. See to it, Lantry. Let's see. Good on you, Barik. Okay, and sorry for the lackluster commentary at some points, but I'm having to sort of figure out on the fly what I was doing at the time, so it's stuff like this that makes after commentary more than a little complicated for me. As those of you who watched my old Assassin's Creed Let's Play back in the day will be aware, I absolutely detest having to do post-commentary, because I'm never entirely certain of what I was doing at the time, and it makes my commentary less good, for lack of a better phrase, than it is if I'm doing it live. which is the reason why I prefer live commentary. But we're 2/3 done with this particular fight, and they're dead. Next, I believe, yes, I looted the bodies here. And that group up ahead's only about 2 people, and they're not particularly skilled, but yeah, I decided to drop a save here because this fight, I didn't want to have to go through it again if I strictly speaking, unless I strictly speaking had to, as they jump me. But as you'll see at the beginning of the next part, once the post-commentary bit is over, I did have to go back and do this again, though I did that off camera for reasons that will become obvious there. And we have gotten basically right outside the door to the area where the enemy is hiding out. So, let's see. More attacks on this guy, because I decided to take the melee enemy first, due to the fact that he was going to make things a bit annoying for the rest of us, since he would be doing that thing where he stabs us with bladed weapons.
Consider it done.
Heal yourself, Lantry. I want to avoid my healer being brought down, if at all possible. And slice attack. Well, Barik just straight up attacks, because he only has the one ability
At once.
that's available. Okay.
That's how it's done. I can't take much more of this.
And Lantry has been wounded. Of course he has. He seems to be the member of my party that is knocked unconscious the most often, and it's more than a touch annoying, I have to admit. Still. Okay. Another attack. And that should be them down. Alright. We're good now. We have only to take out the leaders of the Vendrien Guard, and this insurrection will be dealt with.
I got it.
Will be a relief, because that will mean, from what little I know of this game, that the area where we actually have a time limit is over and done with. And once again, I'm going to drop a save because we are heading into a new area, and I've just finished up what's a pretty major fight and do not want to have to redo it if I can avoid that at all. So, into the final battle type area, I guess. Alrighty then. Let's do this. And it's that water mage that we chatted to earlier on. Okay, conversation time. So, you are the vanguard of Kairos' conquest. Not as tall as I imagined, but we can't all choose our executioners. Already, word of our defiance spreads throughout the lands. You're 7 kinds of stupid if you think our war ends here. Before you stands Captain Tarkus Arai, de facto leader of the dwindling Vendrien Guard. Short, sunburned, and agitated even when standing still. Her body is a compact sculpture of muscle and bone, and her face is short on symmetry, thanks to the scars and dents of a dozen brushes with death. Though your lives will certainly end here in Ascension Hall, she chortles, pointing upwards to the ceiling, its stone arches somehow supporting the massive weight of the spire overhead. Consider yourself fortunate. Some of the finest rulers of Apex met death by duel in this hallowed hall. Truly, there's no finer place to settle an intractable feud. Sisters, brothers. Erai looks back to her cadre of soldiers with a solemn nod. It has been a privilege to lead and an honor to share in your final days. Taking a deep breath, she turns to you, waiting silently. Now, what did I choose to say here? That's right. We tried to bluff her into submission. I sang the chorus in disfavored were behind me and all that. That's because I was trying to see if we could just get some people to back off with the knowledge that they'd be facing a bunch of others after us, but it didn't work out, as you'll see. I'm but the first of your problems. The chorus and disfavored are right behind me, and the one thing they have in common is a hatred of you. Let's see. I can't remember exactly what I said about justifications for why I picked that as Tiberius, honestly. Because it's been a little while since I actually recorded this. And stuff in the meantime and all. Fine. Just more gristle to chew upon. However many friends you brought, will be happy to slay them all. The captain nods at her own words, looks to her soldiers, and sees unsettled faces looking back. Steady yourselves. This is our moment of glory. Her rallying shout echoes through the chamber, but does little to bolster the shaking morale of her crew. So yeah, the men here are not feeling particularly good about it. It seems your uprising amounted to nothing but dead kinsmen. And what did taking Vendrien's well cost you? How many disfavored corpses rust in the valley? How many choirsmen fell to our blades? How goes the endless battle of the blade grave? Will you deal with us here? Erai laughs, wincing as she clutches her side. And tell me, are the Archons unified in victory? Did the armies bond in camaraderie over our deaths? Our stand here is but the first of your problems. Blade Grave, name given to what remains of the realm of stalwart after the Kairos proclaimed the Edict of Storms, struck the disfavored and unbroken armies during the height of their engagement. Now, most of what remains is a blighted landscape of discarded armor and weapons, and high winds of rust and human dust. Wow, that's a bit grim, I have to admit. Okay. You've treated your kinsmen to slow the inevitable. Nothing more than that, I'm afraid. We demonstrated that the armies of Kairos could be shamed by stubborn peasants. The overlord's empire is vast, his armies numerous, his magic unstoppable. He cannot destroy our fighting spirit. Hardly the show of force I'd expect from a truly fearsome overlord. What did you hope to gain from your rebellion? I mean, it doesn't seem to have achieved much other than body count. Nothing we haven't already gained. Our pride, our dignity, these things you can never take from us. She smiles, her eyes distant for a moment. A Vendrien guard could never stand against all of Kairos' forces. We can teach others to resist, and maybe you'll run out of soldiers before we run out of stubbornness, but I doubt it. You already use Kairos' currency, speak the language. After all of that, military control is only a formality. Why the resistance? But that's... Erai stammers, swatting at the air. That's just sophistry. Kairos speaks our language, not the other way around. Besides, that proves nothing other than common history. But the Fatebinder is saying that Kairos is not just one enemy, but a massive force that can reach you even in times of peace. Armies and edicts are just two of the bloodier ways Kairos can control you. Do you have any last words for us then, Oathbreakers? Yes. A broad smile comes over Erai's face. Tell the voices of Nerat we are most thankful for his aid. We would not have made it this far without his support. Oh, twist the knife in a little, I see. And we are fighting 5 on 3. Unfortunate. And I'm afraid I don't have much confidence in the way this is going to turn out. Not much at all. We'll certainly give it a good try, but I don't believe this will go very well for us. Not very well at all, I'm afraid.
As you command.
Okay, heal up, Tiberius, and that leaves us with only one health potion for him. I don't think this is going to go our way. Oh, come on, slice. For once, I actually managed to get the attack in one go. Lantry, give us a little buff, please. And this is the problem in this fight. Not only are we outnumbered, but our enemy has both mages and archers, whereas we have neither. Lantry isn't so much a mage as he is a healer. He can heal people, but he is not an actual mage. Not a combat mage, anyways. And he proves to be the first one to go down in the fight. Really, not what you need when you're facing overwhelm. And I believe he'll be going down soon, if I'm remembering correctly. That's the most likely thing that's gonna happen. So, let's see here. Yeah, Lantry is down. And Barik and the Fatebinder are not faring particularly well. I'm not especially confident that this fight will go my way. In addition, it looks like the Fatebinder is almost dead. We're going to lose that engagement. Yeah. Tiberius down. So, we're going to keep on trying, but I have little confidence that it will go well. We managed to take down one of our enemies, but now this fight has gone from 3 on 5 to 4 on 1. So the odds are even longer. I don't believe this is a fight we could win in any way. And their mage sitting there and essentially paralyzing Barik repeatedly makes it virtually an unwinnable fight. As annoying as it is for me to have to admit that, it's basically impossible to win this fight when we're one warrior against basically 2 mages, an archer, and a warrior. And right there, I go for the archer. But
my armor is dented. Let me repair it. I will aid you.
That leaves me exposed to a couple of mages.
I will aid you.
And we are now out of health potions, which puts us in a precarious situation. As there's no way we can take down all three without dying, I'm afraid.
I'm not dead
Not when
yet.
it's Barik alone against them.
I will aid you. Oh, everything hurts. I require needle and thread.
And now Barik has been slowed down. Yeah, I'm afraid we're done. It's just a matter of time now.
I'll do it for the north. I'm going down.
And there he goes. That's Barik down, and it's time to reload. By the way, this time, from this point forward, I'm not going to be reading the dialogue, unless I'm choosing to say something new that I did not say before. I'm just going to press it and leave it on screen for a bit, so that you can see what was said the second time around, but I'm not actually going to read it the second time. So, here goes. Second try for facing this group. Yes, all of that. And now, let's say the obligatory stuff at the top, I guess. If I remember what we did correctly. Hopefully I do. Oh, that. We'll brandish our weapon. You had so many chances to surrender. I have orders to make this excruciating and slow. My thought here is that since Tiberius doesn't do evil for the sake of evil, he would make that kind of choice in order to try and scare some of them into bolting to make the fight a little bit easier, because the sooner we've dealt with them, the better, and making them split up will definitely be helpful to us and to the disfavored outside. You underestimate our resolve, Fatebinder. The captain looks to his soldiers for a reassuring glance, but is met with nervous eyes and shuffling of feet. A moment of silence is broken as one of the Oathbreakers dashes for the exit. Huh, what do you know? It worked. And we're down an archer. I would have preferred to have been down a melee fighter, but you can't have everything, I suppose. Coward! Captain Arai stomps her boot. Sisters, brothers. Arai looks to her cadre of soldiers with a solemn nod. It has been a privilege to lead and an honor to share in your final days. Taking a deep breath, she turns to you, waiting silently. And tell the voices of Naraj, we are thankful for his aid. Bloody, bloody, blah. We've heard this all before. Now it's 4-on-3. That's ever so slightly narrower odds. I'm still not all too encouraged by the thought of fighting when outnumbered, and I will be much happier once we're back to having a full party again. But it's something that we can put up with for the time being, that's all I'll say.
Consider it done.
And Tiberius's health is already down a decent chunk. Quite unfortunate. Now, let's buff our main combat people with Lantry.
You will fall before a...
Tiberius is really taking a beat. This is not good. What the hell was that? And once again, our slice ability is proving to be a bit of a pain in terms of actually targeting it. So we'll use one of the other attacks. Okay. I don't know who, if anyone, we're going to be able to bring down in this fight. But it's proving to be a hard one, even when we're only outnumbered by a single individual.
As you command.
Now, slice. Barik and Tiberius are getting extremely low on health. I'm not sure if we'll be able to bring down anybody here, frankly. But
Graven ash protects.
Barik,
My armor field.
sure, and that nobody goes down too soon. Because I have a feeling that we're gonna have at least one person knocked unconscious by the end of this.
Light.
And my health potions can't be used just yet.
Right.
So Tiberius is just going to have to tough it out for the time being. As we try to bring down at least one person. How successful that will be is debatable. But we're going to at least make an attempt. As we slice, thrust, and what have you at our enemies in order to kill them, as I've been doing for this entire fight, and all my fights across all the various attempts we've had to make. Now, come on. I'd like to be able to say I at least brought down one person.
They're worthless.
During this attempt, even if I do fail to kill all of them, which I'm fairly certain I will do. And I think Tiberius is about dead. Well, that's one of them dealt with. So, I don't know why, but I'm sending us after multiple enemies rather than just one. Right now, I'm trying to go after the Honor Guard and the Sage Apprentice. I think part of my idea was to minimize the amount of magical attacks my enemies could use against me, but it didn't go as planned. Not to mention the fact that Tiberius is virtually dead at this point, and he is not going to last long in single combat against a melee-centric opponent. I really do not know what I was thinking. And you add to that the fact that, for some reason, my spell casting is blocked. Which, my best guess about that is that one of the mages has some ability to block spells. But anyways, we're not in the best of shapes, considering Tiberius is about dead and Lantry can't cast his healing spells on us. And Lantry is now dead. Okay. Tiberius went down before he could use his attack. Not only that, but it's now 3-on-1, which isn't better than 4-on-1, really. In every sense of things. So, Barik is going to get ganged up on, and we're not really in any shape to stop it from happening. Considering we have only, I think, one health potion. And Barik is now about dead. I don't know if we'll even last long enough to drink that health potion. And we didn't. The entire party has wiped now. So, reload the save, I guess, is what happens here. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, wait, I do remember. As to how I approach this now, I remember what I was contemplating now. As I was saying how I'm not entirely sure what to do about it, because this fight is proving to be quite a bit of pain. Even with what we're going up against here. Even with the fact that I can get rid of one member of the opposition, it's still quite a tough fight. And we have to beat them all with just the 3 of us. So, I was contemplating lowering the difficulty to story mode, or easy as I called it, but was saying how I really did not want to do that, because having it any lower than normal for me would feel like a bit of a cop-out, and I wanted to avoid doing that if I could. So this is the point at which I decided to pause the recording and come back after I did a little bit of research and some thinking to figure out how could I approach it differently. So this recording is going to be ending fairly soon. So I'm just going to say be right back, and I will talk to you again once the recording is resumed.